The Supernovas continue their run at the top of the Professional Volleyball Federation, winning 6 of their last 7 matches. And tonight, they take on an Orlando Valkyrie team looking to find their stride. Time to celebrate. It's Saturday night in Omaha. It is spring in the Midwest, and that means kite flying time at the Spring Fest at River's Edge in Omaha. And just across the Bob Carey Bridge, we are at the CHI Health Center for Professional Volleyball Federation action tonight. It is the top team in the league in the PVF, the Omaha Supernovas taking on the Orlando Valkyries. And hello again, everyone, and welcome inside the CHI Health Center along with former Nebraska standout Lindsey Peterson. I'm Larry Putney. Great to have you with us as we get ready for action tonight. Orlando has knocked off Omaha twice this year. The steadying force, though, this year is the current PVF Player of the Week, and Natalia Anderson-Valentin for the Novas.
Yeah, Valentin Anderson is coming off a huge week. She had over 80 assists, including a double-double against Grand Rapids. In that double-double, she recorded 20 digs. So not only does she get it done in the back row, but her leadership and her experience as a setter is what makes her one of the best in this league.
Well, talking about experience, one of the most experienced outsides and most talented is on the other side of the net, and that is Brittany Abercrombie for Orlando.
Yeah, Abercrombie has been such a steadying force for Orlando this entire season, and she's such a savvy, smart player. You see that she can hit different shots. She's physical, but she really has great ball control as an attacker on the right side, and she's just their go-to player and one we'll rely on tonight.
Leads the league in kills per set. It is a Think Pink night here at the CHI Health Center in support of the American Cancer Society. We'll have it all evening long here in Omaha. The Supernovas and the Valkyries coming up next. Look at the starting lineup for the Supernovas. Brooke Nunneviller leads the way offensively for the Novas. She's third in the PVF in kills per set at 3.92. Not bad defensively as well. and 4th in total kills at 462. That's a look at the Novas. For the Valkyries, the starting lineup, Melanie Schaffmaster is going to get the start, the two-time first-team All-Big Ten performer for Minnesota. She'll be at center. Abercrombie leads the way offensively. And Vanderweide also a threat at the outside for the Valkyries. Some shake-up in the Valkyries lineup, shake-up in the Valkyries team over the course of the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, different personnel than what this Omaha team has played against.
Talked about Medora Onai, who has left the team and has already been picked up by the Vegas Thrill, so she's no longer on this Valkyries squad.
At this time of season, when you make these roster changes, you're curious to see how it affects the dynamic, the tempo, the offensive rhythm of the team. And to have those changes and then come on the road, we'll see how this team responds.
Exchanging points here early on. A couple of service errors to get us started. Back to serve now for the Supernovas, Kelsey Payne. Payne into the lineup about 3 weeks ago. He's been terrific on that right side for the Supernovas as she chases that down, keeps it alive. Cooper sends it over. Schaffmaster runs the quick in the middle. Cooper could not handle, and a kill for the Valkyries.
Schaffmaster is a setter that likes to take risks. She's going to look to set that middle. She's not afraid to fire it in there, especially in transition. You see, good pass. Caffey just late getting out there on the middle to get in front of her.
Overpass. Runaviller with her first roll. Kaz Brown spins and keeps it alive, and a free opportunity here for the Supernovas. Back row, Cooper into the block. Schwann is there with Kaz Brown.
Brown is on a big stretch right now for the Orlando, really defensively. The last few games she's been recording several blocks. She's recorded 20 blocks during the stretch and is blocking 3.33 currently.
Both of the Supernovas points coming on service errors by Orlando. And here's Brooke Nunaviller. First PVF player in history to reach 500 kills and digs in her PVF career. She does it all. Former libero. Makes sense that she'd be able to play all the way around.
Just really savvy, high volleyball IQ. So you'll see she'll run a lot of balls, get set a lot of balls in the back row. She sees the court really well, so you don't see her make a ton of errors attacking.
And there's that D-set Payne out of the back row on the right side with the kill.
Rotations when you have Valentine Anderson in the front row. She's going to really look to set the back row, get the back row involved, because it's going to put more pressure on the blockers on the Orlando side of the net. When setters front row, if they only focus on those two blockers in the front row, it makes it easier for them to defend. Schaffmaster
can be tough offensively as well. 6'3". Setter dump for the kill.
She's definitely an offensive-minded setter, as we talked about. So you think there's only two attackers up there, but you always got to be aware of her when she's in front row, because she can throw it down, she'll turn and swing. So she's not just a setter up there, she's an attacker as well.
There's a look at the head coach of the Supernovas, Laura Bird-Kuhn. Second season, stellar record, 31-12. They've won 6 of their last 7. You look at the makeup of this team and that they had 8 new players. The job that she's done to really develop a young team and get them to compete and understand pro volleyball has been really, really good this year.
Yeah, she's done a phenomenal job, and she's had great players to be an example and lead the way. And Valentine Anderson and Nunaviller, they're coming back. They set the example, but she has a gym full of competitive athletes, and when they're competitive, like you don't teach that. You can't. So she is lucky to have a bunch of players in the gym that don't want to lose. They hate losing more than they like to win, and that's something that you can't train.
I don't know a lot of players more competitive than Brooke Nunaviller. To have her in the gym setting the tone.
So Bird joked about this week how she even tried to adjust things up in practice and just said everything's a competition. She's like, I almost had to pull back the reins because they were getting into it so much from warm-ups to every drill, and that's exciting to see, especially at this point in the season. You think maybe some of them are hitting a wall or they're mentally and physically fatigued, but then you throw that in and it's a competition and it brings out the fire in them all again.
Valentine Anderson runs the quick. Horde not down. Good up back row. There's a swing by Vanderweide not down. Payne rolls it over. Opportunity here. Vanderweide again. Great up by Gomez. Back row, Nunaville tip. What an up. Great pancake. Shaftmaster. Ward still not down. Payne tries deep corner, and that's long. And the rally won by the Valkyries.
Both sides of the net, very scrappy. Hitters managed the ball well. So if the set, out-of-system set wasn't there, they still found a way to keep the ball in play and make it difficult. You saw some great ups. There was one by Melanie Shaftmaster. Both teams really hitting the floor to make those plays defensively.
Cooper with the swing. Abercrombie got the touch on the block. Abercrombie won't wow you with her speed of the swing, but she is so good at placing shots and being crafty at the net.
Her hand contact on the ball is phenomenal. You have to have a great hand contact to be able to, hit all these different shots and see what the block gives you and then be able to make that adjustment.
Vanderweide off the block. And Vanderweide with the kill. 4-0 run here for Orlando.
Shaftmaster really getting the ball out to the pens, all the way out to the pen to give those attackers options to go down the line, to use the block, to hit sharp. She's putting them in a great position right now to hit a lot of different shots.
Abercrombie into the block. Goes off of the libero, who's providing great coverage, but then out off of Scully.
Great cover play. That came back quick off the block, and she was right there to cover, just couldn't quite control it.
It was Yosia actually went off of. Alana Yosia. Shaftmaster pushes out Vanderweide again into the block, and again uses the block and out, and another kill for Vanderweide.
See here, she just takes a swing at the right down the line, and Payne's not quite getting her hand over and pushed in the middle court, which allows her to get the tool on the ball.
The line, Schwann with the kill. That time goes outside the block. Valkyries in control here early.
Their outsides have been attacking a lot of line. I would say that's some of the game plan here is to get the ball out to the pen and attack line. Don't be hitting the ball back into left back where Gomez is there digging. She's a phenomenal defensive player. You want to make the right back defender have to defend.
Payne slows the run with the kill.
Number 23, Kate Landhall.
Just goes high and over the block down the line. That's difficult to defend. Your defense be set up right, but when you're hitting high over the block, it gives them a lot of court to have to cover.
Pulled out of the net by Shaftmaster. Valentine Anderson out to Nunaville. Nunaville through the block. Her first kill.
Anderson set a fast tempo ball out to Nunaville. They like to go faster to her. She could get out there. You saw the block for the Valkyries were late getting out there, so that middle blocker's hands still weren't over the net when Brooke was contacting the ball to get a bad touch off the middle.
Good pass in system and put away by Abercrombie.
Killed by Abercrombie. Serving number 13, Natalie Foster.
So Foster now back to serve for Orlando. And Foster with the ace. Foster transferred from Wichita State to SMU. SMU had that great run last year.
A little too familiar with that.
And another ace by Foster. That's exactly what they did to Nebraska, was just serve you off the floor last year.
I remember the serve.
You're welcome for the reminder.
Yeah, thank you. I think she had quite a few, if I'm right against us. We were really excited when we were able to sight out in her rotation.
Here is Payne. Shaftmaster bump set out to Schwang. Good job by Valentine Anderson, take it out of the net.
Point Orlando. Good by Kaz Brown.
Kaz Brown, smart middle attacker. So even if the set's not quite high enough to take a swing, you see her, she's just throwing the ball, throwing to edges of the court. It's not an easy play. She's forcing either the off blockers or the wing diggers to make a play.
It's another 4-0 run that just ended there on the serve. But a couple of 4-0 runs thus far for Orlando. Valkyries have won twice already this year, both of them sweeps over the Supernovas. Omaha did return the favor the last time they played in a 4-setter. Omaha won it. But so much of this game is about matchups, right? Who are you matched up? Where do you go in right situations? Understanding where to go. And right now, Orlando has Omaha's number. They lead it here in Omaha. 16-9, Valkyries on top. Pick out here in Omaha. Stand up to cancer. Crowds lining up. But it has been, since it was 5-5, all Valkyries. They're on an 11-4 run since it was 5-5. A couple of 4-0 runs. And they're in control. And back to serve is Brittany Abercrombie. Gomez bumps it outside to Nunaville. Tip, flying it is Gomez to keep it alive. And on the slide, Kaz Brown with the kill.
Right now, Orlando is keeping the Supernovas so out of rhythm offensively. They're scrambling to make plays, having to send a lot of plays. This is a great up by Gomez, but they're not able to get attack. It's a free ball over. It allows Orlando to come back and run a quick tempo slide behind.
Into the net called on Valentine Anderson.
First contact has really been the struggle so far for the Supernovas, getting in system, allowing Valentine Anderson to run her offense.
Good up. Push. Nunaviller tries to go deep corner. There's that B again, or that D again. No touch, point for Orlando. And it's another 4-0 run and a timeout taken by Omaha. 19-8 is the score. Orlando on top. 19-9, Abercrombie leading the way for the Valkyries.
Abercrombie's just, we talked about how savvy of a player she is, and I think I'm sure if I could look at Bird's scouting report there that they ran on her and her attack chart to see where she's hitting, there'd be a lot of different angles and a lot of different spots along the court. She's not just strictly, as a lefty you think, oh, she's going to take a lot of balls sharp. She has really worked the right side of the court. I think that's part of their game plan, but she's also hit down the line, tip of the block, and she just has such a wide area that she can kill the ball. It makes her so difficult to stop.
Into the block, Schwann and Brown right there. 20-9, and Orlando running away with set number 1. Abercrombie has burnt the Supernovas every time they've played this year. She has 13, 16, and 24 kills against the Novas. There's a second touch and the kill for Valentine Anderson.
See the Chaz Brown release there. No one got up on Anderson. Great. She had to look out of the corner of her eye to see that because her back was to the net. So just a feel. When you're that as experienced a setter, you have a feel of where those blockers are on that side of the net. No one was up with her, so she took advantage of it.
None of Miller's numbers from the win against the Rise last Sunday. Her 11th double-double of the year. Off the block. Londot now in the game for the Supernovas. And Nunaviller could not keep it alive. Pedraza also into the game at setter for Orlando, so we're looking to mix things up here a bit. Londot on the right, Pedraza setting.
They've got a familiar connection from Ohio State. So
that's right.
It's a little bit of a relief there. You're not bringing two people that don't know each other very well.
Connection missed there between Caffey and Pedroza. Yeah, Pedroza played 4 years for the Buckeyes and then transferred in her last year to Penn State. As most of those seniors, Kylie Murr and others all made that transfer out of the program. Angle, is it in? It is. Right on the line, Supernovas with the point. Orlando's still 3 away from set 1. Caffey goes back to serve. Off the tape, and Caffey with her 14th ace of the year. That leads the Supernovas.
Got the home court advantage net rule. Serve at the tape and you get the rule. It's always something, we always joke that has to be the home court advantage.
She's in the top 10 in the league in aces on the season. Cooper. Into the block. Horde and Londot together. And speaking of leading the league, Caitlin Horde leads in blocks.
Caitlin, that's a great blocker. She just reads the net, moves along the net really well, gets her hands over, gets her hands pushed back in the middle of the court. It's a very disciplined middle blocker.
63 blocks on the year. That leads the PBF. Abercrombie rolls it over. Good up. Cooper tried that deep corner, a little long.
There you just see, though, Abercrombie wasn't a great set, made the smart shot, forced the ball to make Pedraza to play it, got her on the ground, so then you're not coming back with a quick tempo ball, so they can set their block.
Bird looks thrilled. On the block. Keep it alive. Did it get back over? It did. Great one-handed up by Gomez, and then Nunaviller. Great scramble there by the Supernovas to keep it up. Pedraza. Left-handed tip and the kill by Nunaviller. And maybe this is what you're looking for late in a set that you're likely going to lose, is some momentum.
Absolutely. They got to try to start finding some rhythm and momentum here so they can come back, carry that into the second set, and come out hopefully swinging and have more of a rhythm. They've started passing better. You've been able to see that Supernovas have been able to set their middles a little bit more now, so they're starting to calm down passing.
Bump set. Londot into the block. Here's Cooper with a chance. Dewida off the block, not down. Dewida again, great up Gomez. And then into the block and down and point for the Valkyries. Set point up coming for Orlando.
It's another strength of Melanie Schaffmaster. She's a physical setter, so she presents a big block out there. So out of system balls where a lot of times those outsides are looking to come and attack a setter and try to attack down the line, she presents a really big block and got it that time.
Valkyries come out in set one and run over the Supernovas 25-14 in set one. And Orlando has now taken 7 sets, making 8 now off of the Supernovas this year.
Get ready, Novas Nation. On Thursday, April 17th, the Supernovas will light up the court as they face off against the Grand Rapids Rise. Join the electric atmosphere, witness heart-stopping plays, and push your Supernovas closer to a championship. Don't wait until it's too late. Seats are filling fast, and you don't want to miss this world-class matchup. Be a part of the world's leading pro volleyball fan base. Secure your tickets now at supernovas.com.
Stand strong and taking action. We won't give you the satisfaction. So take a step back and watch us burn it up. 'Cause we bring the fire. Touch your igniter. We bring the fire. So don't even try. We bring the fire. We bring the fire.
Las Vegas, the 2025 Pro Volleyball Federation Championship is headed for the bright lights. It's the match for $1 million in Las Vegas. Tickets on sale soon.
We got it next. That's how you finesse. We come for that next. Beautiful sweat. Balls blocked straight down. What a rocket out of the back. Now they calling my phone, yeah, but I'm all in my zone. They not a threat. Tell them reset. She is absolutely white hot. And a nice block on the outside. Did it all on my own, yeah. Went and brought it back home. What a final rally.
NCAA women's volleyball has never been more electrifying. The action is non-stop. The energy is explosive. Experience the intensity live. Sign up for pre-sale news and more at ncaa.com/volleyball.
Always a powerful moment in any arena. These stand up for cancer moments.
Thank you for standing up to cancer and for supporting the Supernovas as we spark out cancer.
American Cancer Society, pink out here tonight at the CHI Health Center. Wow.
I think back to all the pink nights that you've been a part of and how you honor anybody has cancer, and the focus now it's a female sport. You try to look at female cancer survivors, and the number of people that have been affected just amazes me how it continues to grow. But yet the research, and I think people say, I was and now I beat it. You hear more I beat it than I have it, and so that's just such a promising, and it gives you some excitement and motivation to what we're doing to try to fight this battle against such a terrible, terrible disease.
In a disease that really impacted the entire Husker community over the course of the last year with Greg Sharp passing of cancer. Ready now for set number 2, Orlando at Omaha. That is the worst set loss that the Supernovas have faced since all the way back in set 2 on February 8th against Atlanta. And boy, is Atlanta on a tear right now. The Rise have won 8 in a row.
Now, this battle towards the end, you see some teams really starting to catch stride and getting great rhythm, and other teams that are just trying to hang on. And it's a tough time of year because everyone hopes they're still going up, but sometimes they're starting to flatten out or head down.
Yep. That's a good swing from Kelsey Payne. First time she's really got on top of one in that back row set. Caitlin Ward now back to serve for the Supernovas. Supernovas come in 14-5 on the year, atop the league. Valkyries at 12-8. That is long. Valkyries have struggled a bit recently. Lost 4 out of their last 5. Of course, the roster turnover certainly has a lot to do with that. They're trying to gel and put new pieces into place, and communication is such a hard thing to work on when you midway through the season have those kind of roster changes.
When you're just bringing new people into your gym, and at this point you usually have a pretty good foundation of trust and understanding how that person plays next to you, and when you bring new people in the gym, that totally changes everything.
Great timing there as Caffey gets the kill, and it's a 3-0 Supernovas run.
See, Pedraza really trusting in Caffey getting in there. The set passes off just a little bit. Caffey stays off the net. That's so important as a middle. You can't get too tight to the net, especially if your setter's off, because you got to be able to see the ball and see the block.
It's good reaction. Batenhorst kept it alive. Horde sends it over. The tip, not down, pulled out of the net by Caffey. 3-ball opportunity here. Shaftmaster, one-handed set. Timing is off. They would like a better first touch on that with a free ball. Didn't matter. Orlando gets the point.
Yeah, especially with a down ball like that. You would hope to come back with a more in-system play there, but...
And maybe better tempo, too. In-system and better tempo. There it is. Long.
Just missed them.
Love the Bolt 6 system. There's Payne again. And now she's starting to warm up.
Supernovas happy to get out of that one. Brooke Nunaville handled that difficult serve from Foster very well to allow them to be in system. Foster had gone back and gotten some runs in the first set, and that time was just one and done.
Great heady play there. Was that Nunaville? It was. Nunaviller sends it deep on the first touch.
Great vision there. That's volleyball IQ there. Instead of keeping it on her side and trying to transition back and seeing that everybody was sucked up, sending it deep.
Payne with the ace off the tape. And now the Supernovas looking a little more comfortable here in set 2. Out to the early 6-2 lead.
Talked about that momentum they got late in that first set. Hopefully we carry that over, and you see that they come out right away and get on top. Keep that going.
And having a difficult time serve receive right now. First touch not going well for the Valkyries, and it's led to a bit of a run here for the Supernovas. Amy Pauley will take a timeout as the Supernovas with the 7-2 lead. It's so cliche, but it's so true. First touch, so important in this game at every level.
Every level, and it gets tougher at every level. You think, oh, it's just passing, it should be so much easier, but you have to understand the serving gets so much better at each level you go up, and so you can't just stay where you're at passing. You got to improve in that fundamental as well as you go up the ladder. But yeah, you see as soon as first contact breaks down, and not only on serve receive, but even ball handling, free balls, easy balls over, breaks down there, it totally disrupts the offense and the rhythm that you have on your side. And not only just for one play, you can see it kind of snowball after that.
And at this level in pro volleyball, I mean, you have to play around. You have to play all the way around more frequently, so you have to be better adept at being not just an attacker, but also a 6th rotation player. Hey, you don't want to miss more Husker softball coming up on Nebraska Public Media. Big Ten's Indiana comes to Lincoln Saturday, April 19th. We'll have it all. Hoosiers and Huskers at 1 Central on Nebraska Public Media. So out of the timeout, Shaftmaster goes to Abercrombie. Good block touch there. Nunneviller with the swing. One-handed, kept alive by Vanderweyde. Back to Nunneviller again, just wide. No touch.
Great idea. You thought Brooke tried hard to that ball, wanted a big kill. She was one-on-one. It was a single block. Just missed a little bit down the lane.
The tip and down. Abercrombie couldn't get there.
Great spot to tip the ball. A lot of times you see those attackers come in and tip right over the block, but you put it right there in the middle court, you're forcing right back and left front to have to make a decision. They both are trying to go flying in for it. Somebody's got to make the decision to play it.
Batenhorst and Allie Batenhorst with her first kill from the left pin.
You see here, good tempo ball. Allie just snaps it through the seam of the block. She has a different arm swing, so it's not like Reagan Cooper. It's a different type of arm swing. She hits more on the way down, a little slower, then really snaps over the ball. So it takes the block a minute to adjust to that.
Ball again, good up by Gomez. Payne. Abercrombie kept it alive, then off the block. And 4 touches called on the Supernovas, point for Orlando.
Great scramble play there on the Supernovas, just couldn't quite get it over. And continuing Vanderweyde mixing up her shots, really forcing Payne to play defense there to try to also take her out as an option then coming back.
It strikes me in the conversations that we've had with Bird pre-match and getting ready and preparing for matches, she always talks about how comfortable and confident she is in her B-side, right? Her B-side says very talented. 2 middles have been outstanding who don't get a lot of playing time. Her other outsides, and I think we're seeing it here. Like, not afraid to go to the bench and bring in some fresh talent who's provided a little bit of a spark, and now they're on top 11-4.
Yeah, and when you have such a competitive second side, it also makes the top side continue to work, but it knows you have confidence as a coach that everybody's ready to go. You can look down the line and know you have somebody ready to come.
Service long from Caffey. Kaz Brown now back to serve for Orlando as Caffey goes to the bench. Back row, Nunneviller with the tip, Schaffmaster kept it alive. Vanderweyde with the kill. 4-4.
It was a sharp shot inside the block there. The set was tight, a little bit tight and inside. You see she came in and her shoulders and everything were facing sharp cross. So block wasn't able to set up further inside.
Did not get on top of that one. There was no touch.
Timing off a little bit there between Pedraza and Payne on that ball. But right idea, set all the way pushed over. A lot of times you forget about them, that attacker in the back row on that side.
That is the 6th service error on Orlando. Pedroza now back to serve. Pedroza started off on the practice roster for Orlando. Played her way into an active player, and the block there, Schaffmaster along with Foster. You got the hands of Schaffmaster.
Schaffmaster again just getting out to the line. You see quick tempo out. Allie wanted to take that swing down, and just Schaffmaster just getting her hands over. When you set a quick tempo ball, it's not as high, so the attacker's not hitting it at a really high point. It's across the net, lower to the tape, so you don't have to go so high on the block.
Abercrombie pushes it off the top of the block. Payne fired away. Great angle straight down by Payne.
There was a good connection there on that one. You see Payne was just in rhythm on step, the ball nice in front of her. She had a great seam. She took advantage of the big seam in the block.
5 kills now for Kelsey Payne. Tough serve by Batenhorst. Nunneviller rolls it to the back. Vanderweyde block. There's Horde again. 65 blocks on the season.
Caitlin defensively always makes an impact on the game. I know they like to get her going more offensively and that, but she's somehow silently will get a kill here and there. You kind of forget about her, and then they'll find her way to get a kill, but she's always coming up with a big block when you need it.
Abercrombie shot the high hands, got the kill.
Serving number 8, Lindsay Vanderweide.
Vanderweide now back to serve. Vanderweide was a senior at Oregon when Brooke Nunaviller was a freshman. How about that? How about that team for Matt Ulmer, huh?
I remember that team. We got to play them.
Yeah, that's right.
Again, Brooke hitting that 60 shot. We called it a 60 shot. So she's not coming flying in full speed, hitting as hard as she can. She comes in hard and just high contact, places it high over the block. So over the block in that open area, the block's supposed to take that away, but she just snaps it over. It makes it really difficult for middle back and left back to get to.
Abercrombie, top of the block. Good hustle by Horde to keep it alive. Nunaviller off the block. Tip, not down by Schwan. And Nunaviller got the kill. Great angle from Nunaviller. Thumb down there, got on top of it.
Good high out of system set by Caitlin Horde. Middle's coming in confident to set the ball. Kept it nice and off the net to allow Nunaviller to have option to swing. She knew she'd have a big double block in front of her.
16-9. Supernovas returning the favor from set one. They're in control. Well, there are Caitlin Horde's numbers this year. First in the league in total, first in the league in per set. And how about the hitting percentage in the top 5?
That's one reason why I think Bird would like her middles to get the ball more. Is, I mean, Caitlin, when she gets the ball, she's hitting at a really high number. You just see that she's not getting that many attempts per match.
See at the bottom there, those 7 blocks against the Vibe. She became only the 5th PVF player this year to have 7 blocks in a match. Caitlin Horde, good one-handed up. Could not keep it alive, though.
Great run there by Kayla, getting right behind the setter and getting up early. So good ball handling and transition. You see here that she comes right off the setter, draws the shoulder, not all the way out to the pin. Catch the block moving out.
Abercrombie. Horde hustles, but not going to get it back over. Great hustle by both as Batenhorst goes hard into the bench. Or into the front row of chairs. Neither gave up on it. Batenhorst or
almost had it.
Another one here. Foster now serving. Nunaviller got Nebraska got the Supernovas out of that rotation.
Then Brooke takes a big swing there, and you can see it once again. You saw the Supernova scrambling with that overdig to the back line to try to make that play. Orlando's had a lot of balls they've sent back deep into the Supernovas court on that first dig.
Out of rotation on Omaha. They got to figure it out now. Just clarifying, they wanted to make sure.
Payne should have been the server, I think.
Another one from off the net. Good back row swing. Abercrombie with another kill.
Abercrombie coming out of the, hitting high over the block there, deep into the corner again, forcing right back to cover a lot of area. See, that block was set up well. She was able to get over the edge of the block.
Not down. And it was down.
Challenge.
They're going to challenge.
And that challenge had to be immediate in order for them to look at it.
So we'll see. Look from our vantage point, it looked like it was down.
Yeah.
This challenge brought to you by Premier Claims, because your property claim deserves a fair play.
Almost.
So it was down, and point for the Supernovas.
After review, point Supernovas.
Nunaviller now back to serve. And the service error. Schwam back to serve as there is Laura Bird-Kuhn. Shank there, but a back row swing by Nunaviller. Abercrombie into the block. Batenhorse got the hand on it.
Allie's a really good blocker, really good left side blocker. She just seals the net well, gets in good position there. Discipline, you don't see her hands, her arms aren't moving. A lot of times on a back row attack, a blocker will make a move late, which causes a bad touch, but Allie's super disciplined there on that move.
Pedraza outside. Batenhorst. Good block touch there by Schaffmaster. Better White again. Just turns and fires it off that block and tools the block so well.
She's really attacking edges. We've seen her hit some sharp ones 4-4, so from left side to left side, and she's really attacked the line blocker as well.
As Brown's serve is wide. Second season as well for Amy Pauley. She's an Alabama grad. 2009 was an associate head coach at USC. And again a kill by Vander Weyden.
Saw Horde trying to get out there and close, and it took advantage. She hits that with such power. Horde's hands aren't over the net, so she's making her move out, trying to get out to push over, and the ball's already crossed the net.
The block that time, and the block of Caitlin Horde on Vander Weyden.
They made Abercrombie play that first ball, and it wasn't a great first contact, so it had to be an out-of-system ball, and then that allowed Horde that time. Wasn't late getting out there. She was able to get out, seal the block.
Another kill by Abercrombie.
Point Orlando. Kill by Abercrombie.
Shaftmaster knows where Abercrombie is at all times on the court. She's always a consideration to set front row or back row. She has great trust in her, knowing that she's going to come up with a play.
Good hustle by Pedraza. Shaftmaster back row couldn't handle it. Nunaviller with the kill.
Supernovas.
Brooke it's so important to watch Brooke here as an outside. She delayed, she was waiting, she didn't go too early. A lot of times you see attackers get anxious and go early, the ball then is behind their head. There's no way you can hit that shot. She slowed her approach down, but then still took a big, aggressive, fast step to allow her to attack that ball down the line.
Good run in the middle. Great set by Shaftmaster. Foster put it away, and now Foster back to serve.
Foster with a hard swing, back to right back on that. Caffey jumped in, so we call her wrist away shot, taking her shot towards left back, and Foster did a nice job reading them.
Nunaviller. 9 kills for Nunaviller. Supernovas now with set point.
Great push by Pedraza to get that all the way across, still staying in tempo, set that ball pen to pen, was able to get out there for Brooke.
Tip for Abercrombie, not down. Gomez steps in out of system. Nunaviller tip along the net and got it to fall. And the Supernovas take set number 2. They were rolled in set 1, but did the rolling in the second. They win at 25-17. We're knotted at 1. Supernovas and Valkyries here in Omaha.
Get ready, Novas Nation. On Thursday, April 17th, the Supernovas will light up the court as they face off against the Grand Rapids Rise. Join the electric atmosphere, witness heart-stopping plays, and push your Supernovas closer to a championship. Don't wait until it's too late. Seats are filling fast, and you don't want to miss this world-class matchup. Be a part of the world's leading pro volleyball fan base. Secure your tickets now at supernovas.com.
Standing strong and taking action. We won't give you the satisfaction. So take a step back and watch us burn it up. 'Cause we bring the fire. Touch your igniter. We bring the fire. So don't even try us. Yeah, we bring the fire. We bring the fire.
Back here in Omaha, joined by Laura Bird-Kuhn. You want to maybe just walk us through set number 1?
Yeah, we can hold hands and take a walk back in time. It was first contacts. I mean, we need to be better with our serving to keep them out of system, and then our passing, we couldn't get any rhythm going. So we had to settle back in, and then it was a blocks and digs. We had to grind. That's what we do, and I'm proud of them for turning that second set around, but it's going to be a long match. We need to stay focused.
Yeah, it looked like coming in that your personnel change, Allie provided a spark, Brooke really took over for you, Pedraza. In the huddle, is Brooke leading that charge? Who's in charge as a player there saying, hey, that first set was not our style of volleyball?
I think all of them, not to even, like, they all speak up. They know our rhythm, and we fought for some balls, and we tried to get the rhythm back and just grind in that first set, but we needed to just, the serving. It was really our serving and passing that we needed to clean up.
It's a team you've struggled with this year. Is it a matchup thing, or what is it with Orlando and Omaha?
Yeah, it's definitely a matchup. Yeah. I mean, their tempo is a little slower than ours, and they're just smart. They're smart, and they read the court. We need to be stopped on defense. I mean, they were shredding our defense because we were just moving while they were attacking.
Well, nice second set. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Laura Bird-Kuhn joining us. And the Supernovas have knotted it at 1 here in Omaha.
I learn a lot from Nati. She's been playing this game for so long.
Set three into the donut by Valentine Anderson, and she gets a kill.
She's just such a veteran pro, and I think when you're on the court, you just want those people by you.
I have this ability to unite. It's just my personality. So I feel like people look at me as a leader because of that.
And four-time best setter of the year in the Puerto Rican League. And the ace for Nazi.
I think there's a comfort with Nati. She's one of our veterans. She's going to be that vocal person. So I love seeing that.
Opportunity here for the Novas. Second touch. Great job, Valentine Anderson. Nazi put it away.
I take my time to know my teammates and just understand their personalities so that I can use that to our advantage when it comes to the game. Those connections as a person, that means a lot to me because that means I impacted those people, not only on the court, but off the court. And I want to be a role model to the next generation, and I think that's important too.
No doubt one of the leaders for the Supernovas, Valentine Anderson, current PVF Player of the Week. When we come back, set three coming your way. We're knotted at one between Orlando and Omaha. Look at the numbers through 2 sets. Not a great hitting percentage for the Supernovas.
Well, that first set didn't help that percentage. So I think if you take out the first set, it's how much they had to come dig themselves out of the hole to get to that. You also take a look at the blocks. Bird even talked about how the Orlando was eating them up defensively, and the block really became more disciplined, got great touches and blocks, and became a factor there in that second set.
First set, the Supernovas hit negative 0.26. In set number 2, they hit 387. Big difference. And it flipped for the Valkyries as well, just not as drastically. They hit 316 in the first, 185 in the second. Misconnection there leads to an opportunity here for the Supernovas. Kelsey Payne, who had 4 kills in that second set with the swing. Abercrombie off the block, and she now has 11 kills.
Yeah, you look at both teams, not surprising that Abercrombie leads the way in kills for Orlando and Nunaviller leads the way for the Supernovas. I mean, those are the two steady forces on both sides of the net.
There is the hitting percentages by set. Big difference. Payne now back to serve. And the serve is long.
Service long. Valkyries.
Exchange service errors.
Serving's so important on both teams. You saw how much of a factor it was for Orlando that first set. These Supernovas could not get in a rhythm, struggled with their first contact. Second set, Supernovas kind of did the same thing to Orlando. Their passing broke down because Supernovas were attacking from the service line.
Nunaviller had just 2 kills in set 1, came back with a much better second set, 8. A quick push back over by Pedroza. Good around the middle. And got the kill. No help there. Off of the dig by Scully.
Great decision to run middle. As the rally progresses, a lot of times people lose track of the middle, so middle getting up is so crucial because it's just, a lot of times it's just rhythm to send it to the pins, and instead get a good ball, the middles need to get up and be a factor.
Into the block. Supernova's block is picked up over these last 2 sets.
Schwann struggling a little bit out on offensively tonight for Orlando. She's just not in a great rhythm and has had a lot of off-speed shots and hasn't really been able to just get on top of the ball.
Just long from Nunaviller. Thought she had it. She immediately looked up at R1. Was it in? Just out. That ends the 3-0 Supernova run. Great up by Gomez. And there will be a replay as it was challenged right away.
I think it did get down.
Yep. So that'll be a point for the Valkyries.
Gomez really covers a lot of ground over there on left back. She's deep down the line to dig line, and then you see her come flying in to try to play that typical block. So a great defender out there, and in fact, you can tell that Orlando's trying not to give her very many contacts. They're trying to make everyone else play the ball. No off-speed shots are really going directed to her out of rhythm balls. They're making everyone else have to earn it on defense.
Great look there from the Bolt 6 system. Off the block, kill by Badenhorst. Ford back in, Kathy back to serve. And another ace for Kathy. That's 15 on the year. And she leads the Supernovas.
that ball getting into the seam there, just dying off a little bit.
On the slide, Kaz Brown beats the block.
Come back with a great first contact and able to run that fast tempo slide behind. See it, Allie late getting out on the block a little bit, allowed him to hit that into that seam.
Kaz out of Waterloo, Iowa, not far from here in Omaha. Played for Craig Skinner at Kentucky. And another point there for the Valkyries.
Abercrombie again out of the back row. Shaftmaster's putting a nice tempo ball. It's still quick tempo. It's not a high ball, so it's tough for Horde to get out there and close the block.
Hard to stop that as well. Great timing with Pedroza and Horde.
Pedroza's a taller setter, so her contact point is higher than what Valentine Anderson would be. So being higher in the air, quicker contact makes that tempo between with the time the ball releases from her hands to the time that Horde touches it is a faster tempo.
A good pass there by the Valkyries. Gomez steps in out of system. Payne will take the swing off the block. Another wide and not down. There's Payne again. Great angle for Payne. And the kill.
Gomez with a good dig. And there you see you have Horde coming behind. So you have both attackers back there. Horde gets out of the way, a higher ball for Payne to come in, hit that sharp angle.
Kelsey Payne had 4 kills in set 2. She has 7 now in the match. Big block. Payne got a hand on it. Horde was right there as well.
Blockers moving along the net. The ball's passed way over to the left side of the court, so they start making their move out, but it takes a lot of communication. Kelsey Payne has to communicate a lot to her blocker on when to jump, make sure they're going up at the same time, to wait on the block. So
into the game now for the Valkyries is Nora Siss from right here in the Omaha area, from Papillion, Nebraska. Played collegiately, obviously, for the Creighton Blue Jays. And here's Siss with the swing. Got the kill.
Skill by Nora Siss.
Shaftmaster's going at her right away, not giving her much time to get in rhythm with the game, with the match. And they see they serve her right away. Siss handles the ball great, comes in and makes a big swing.
Good pass from Allie B. No touch. Swing is long. And the service error.
Right now, both teams not allowing themselves to get on any run from the service line. It's good serve and then an error or side out. Neither team can really get going from the service line.
Not a lot of rhythm right now, either side.
Supernovas.
4 contacts.
11-8. Siss inside the block again. And Nora Siss, who is a 4-time All-Big East performer, with another kill.
Nice pass to attack. The Supernovas forcing her back to pass. She gets up there, still waits, and finds a way to get a kill off the inside hand of the middle blocker.
Siss was the 3rd overall pick for the Valkyries in the 24 draft. The back row, Batenhorst. Block just did not seal. Batenhorst had some room.
Had 3 blockers up. Allie's on the back row. The blockers getting in there a little late, leaves seam in the block, and Allie attacking right at the tape there. So if your block is moving at all, especially on a back row attack, it's an easy tool for that attacker.
Siss found the campfire.
Serving number 22, Nora Sis.
Nice hard approach, high contact, and just puts it right over the block. Great time to tip a lot of times is when you see you have a middle back serving, middle's playing left back. A lot of times they're not quite, they don't read the attacker quite as well.
Not as nimble.
Not quite as low as ground as what Gomez would be to go flying in there and make that dig.
That's right. Oh, good dig. Abercrombie got a swing on that from a difficult angle. Gomez out assistant. Here's Nunaviller into the block. Knocked down. Gomez sends it over. Opportunity here. Gomez keeps it up again. Here's Kelsey Payne. And Payne. Great angle.
Feisty defense, and Bird talks about it, that they're gritty. Their team is really gritty on defense. Gomez is leading the charge. She came flying in to make a couple big digs, and then she also is there covering her hitters. That gives great confidence as a hitter to take a big swing of the ball when she's right there telling she's there to cover.
Camila Gomez, one of 2 All-Stars on the Supernovas team, along with Caitlin Horde. One of the reasons this defense, there's another block there by Kayla Caffey. This defense is so good for the Supernovas. 9 times this year they've held their opponent to under 200 hitting. They lead the league with an opponent hitting percentage of 204. And there's more defense.
Defense wins championships. It's just, you know, it wears on you as an attacker if you're constantly, maybe it's not a block, but the blockers are getting touches, or Gomez is making big digs. You see there, Caffey's super disciplined in the middle, just gets her hands over. She's not making it an easy target with her hands moving, and that discipline at the net as blockers is what allows their floor defense to be so good, because they are set up around and can read around the block.
There is the dominance of this Supernovas team defensively. First in the league in opponent hitting percentage. 4th in digs per set. That's 16. Gomez already has 16 digs here in this match. 2nd in blocks per set. And they have 8 sweeps, which leads the league as well. Gomez is 3rd in the PVF in digs, despite having the fewest sets played. And she's 4th in total digs, had 31 in that win against the Vibe last week.
That position is, the libero position is such a tough position. Like your opportunity isn't really to score points. Your first contact, and maybe your chances, you know, you're at not a high success rate of digging the ball when you have people constantly hit at you. So a lot of times your contact isn't necessarily one that people remember, but she's found a way to just really make an impact here in the back row and organize the floor defense. And you hear her always talking to her attackers, so it's not just what she does, you know, as far as volleyball skill, but just how she communicates and the confidence she shares back there really bleeds into her other players.
Abercrombie fires away. Deep corner, what a shot.
You had to think she was probably going to get set out of this timeout to look for her to get a big swing.
14 kills now for Abercrombie. And the ace. Foster in that dangerous serve. They'll probably target Batenhorst again in that back row. Schwann will send the free ball over. Opportunity here for the Supernovas. High ball, put it away.
You don't want to send a free ball. This makes it too easy. And Pedra's tempo to the pin was just beautiful for Nunaville. I mean, she fast ball out there, was tight to net, exactly what Brooke wanted.
Supernovas took the second. They're happy about the third. They're up 16-12. Lindsay Krause keeping the crowd into it.
She was a dancer before she was a volleyball player.
Good footwork. There's Caffey with the block. 17-12.
Kayla made that early commit there in the middle. Pass was perfect. She took a step towards the middle. It was right there in front of her to make that play.
Fourth block for Caffey, 12 for the team. Abercrombie. Nunaville at back row, off the tape. Data system, Scully pushes it out. Abercrombie again. Batenhorst tips it into the middle. Great redirect by Batenhorst in midair.
Allie's good at taking that, slamming it down, or tips, roll shots. She sees the court well, does a nice job getting on top of the ball to push it down. It's not an easy tip for the defense to get under.
Fifth kill of the match against 2 blocks for Batenhorst. Abercrombie off the block, and another kill for Abercrombie. 15 now for Abercrombie.
Abercrombie taking a big swing down line, but it's a great touch by Allie. She was there, she read the swing, got her hands out there. It was a great block touch. See here. Smart shot. Abercrombie again, she sees the court so well. It's a tough ball. High success kill, or high success rate on that shot.
Chompu now into the game for the Valkyries, along with Lydia Grote. Batenhorst, did she get it off the block? Did not, and it goes wide.
Another great cover ball there by Gomez.
And we will have a replay to see if there was a touch. There's a look at Chompu, who's now in the game. She has been their typical setter all year long, so the fact that Schaffmaster got the start tonight was a bit of a change in the lineup. Chompu now back in there. Here's a look to see if there was a touch. Really tough to tell there.
Yeah, tough shot. I think she missed it.
Yep. This might be the best look. Nope.
Just outside the blocker's hands. Right idea. You don't want to take the ball and try to push it back in. You got 4 hands right in front of your face, so that's really your only shot you can do, is to try to swipe it off the outside hand.
So our R1, Young Park, looking at it in his monitor and awaiting a call. Maybe a little more difficult than we thought.
Yeah.
All right.
Must be seeing a different angle.
Yep. Yeah. 18-14, Omaha came back and took set 2 to tie it at 1 set apiece. We're here in the third in Omaha. Always a great crowd here at the CHI Health Center for Supernovas Volleyball. And we have a call, and it will be Valkyries point. So call stands. Chompu back to serve. Out to Batenhorst, right back to her.
Perfect tempo, great pass, perfect tempo, out to the pen. Allie gets on it quick.
Good pass by Sis. Oh, what a swing there by Grote. Lydia Grote, who played at Minnesota after she played at Cal.
Making that change there, different matchup in the front row, having her be able to swing, so now you don't have Abercrombie hitting out of the back row, you have a front row attacker now in this rotation. Just changes the look up for the blockers.
Grote again. Block touch for the Novas. Back. Batenhorst, the same. Grote from over the shoulder. Boy, tough angle and got it down. Little spark here provided by Lydia Grote.
Grote having to really keep her eye on the ball. That's a tough angle for her to hit it, especially as a right-hand attacker. Abercrombie, a left-handed right-side attacker. Grote's a right-handed, so it's really hard to let that ball come across your shoulder from that left back side to make that swing.
Serving 11 service errors. That's long. Pedroza with the serve. Tip, Gomez with the up. Pedroza runs the quick middle, and Horde delivers the kill.
Middles have been a lot more active this set. In transition, they're getting up off first tempo balls. Both Kayla and Caitlin are getting to Mac, finding a way to make a difference here offensively.
Off the foot, none of them kept it alive. Double was in the same motion, but Sis off the block of Payne. What an up with the foot by Nunaviller.
Great crossing play. When you hit the seam, you encourage one person in front, one behind, and there you see it. Just Gomez flying in front. Nunaviller gets with her foot.
Right back to Batenhorst. Draws it. Batenhorst right along the net. Off the block into the antenna point for the Valkyries.
Valkyries were really gritty there defensively. Came up with a big dig, getting the ball in system. There's not a system play there, just a little chaos. They stayed calm. Were able to get a big swing out of that.
Did not like that serve.
Looks like her toss got a little bit in front of her left shoulder.
Allie Batenhorst will serve at 22-18. That's the first time this set Sis has missed. She was 4 for 4 before that swing. Timeout, Valkyries. 23-18, Omaha 2 away from going up 2-1. They've got the lead here at home. Well, that's a look. I love the jacket, right?
Music. Feels the beat.
The guy next to him doesn't know what's going on. Yeah. I'm not sure I want this beside me. Sis with the kill. 6 swings, 5 kills for Sis in this set.
Good repeat here, nice tempo, beat the middle block. Sis hitting deep into the left back corner. It's such a tough ball for the defense to defend.
So Shaftmaster now will serve for Orlando. Good pass. Run the middle. And Horde got the kill. Went off the top of the block. and dropped it in the campfire. Set point here for the Supernovas. Caffey back in.
Getting in there in the gap between the left front or the right front and middle blockers. It's a great run. It forces the right side block has to move in while the middle block is moving out. It's a tough ball for them to get up and close together.
Payne. Sis again. Good up by Horn. Payne from off the net, fires through. I believe we have a challenge by the Valkyries.
I think they want a net contact.
Polly challenged it right away. Challenging, I think as you said, the net touch. So Young Park will look at it again. I believe if it's a net touch, it's obviously point Orlando. If not, we'll replay. There was a net shaking there. I'm not sure if Caffey got it or...
I think it was when Sis was swinging on that attack. They're wanting it on the block.
Oh yeah.
Yep. There it is.
Yep.
It's on Caffey's finish.
Finger right there on that left hand.
It's on her finish over the net.
Yep. So this will be Valkyries' point. Should make it 24-20. There's Kayla Caffey.
Kayla's had to probably work on her poker face. She used to not be very good when there was a net touch or she touched the,
right away,
the ball. You knew.
Let everybody know it.
But she's improved in that.
Too many times tell. Just an initial little flinch or reaction. If you go back and look at replay, you usually tell if they knew they had a touch. Set point number 2. Out to Nunaviller. Abercrombie got the kill.
Valkyries going to this 6-2 here. So they bring Shaftmaster and Abercrombie back in, so they never have a front row setter up there, and seeing if they can put a bigger block up and always have 3 attackers up there will help their offense.
Sis with the serve. And the ace for Sis. And that is 3 straight set points wasted for the Supernovas. Now 24-22. And number 22 to serve. Set point number 4. Batenhorst again. Gomez calls everyone off. Out to Nunaviller, into the net. And a timeout taken by Coach Kuhn.
Here again, it's that first contact.
Yeah.
Sis putting the ball, tough ball, in the seam, forcing Allie to pass the ball, and then an out-of-system ball for Brooke to make an error on there. So being able to finish here at the end is crucial.
24-23. Hey, folks, time to get your seeds and your shovels ready. It's time for another season of Backyard Farmer on Nebraska Public Media. Kim Todd and the panel of extension experts ready to help you find solutions for all of your lawn and garden needs. Thursdays, April 3rd, 7 o'clock. That's the first one right here on Nebraska Public Media. Fifth opportunity to win the set, and a big one here for the Supernovas.
See here if this timeout. A lot of times coaches call a timeout to rattle the serve. Well, we'll see how Sis comes out and handles this serve after having 3 really tough serves.
Good pass. Kathy, not down. Abercrombie, block! Kathy with the big block. And the Supernovas hang on in set number 3. It takes 6 set points, but they win it. 25-23. Novas up 2-1.
Get ready, Novas Nation. On Thursday, April 17th, the Supernovas will light up the court as they face off against the Grand Rapids Rise. Join the electric atmosphere, witness heart-stopping plays, and push your Supernovas closer to a championship. Don't wait until it's too late. Seats are filling fast, and you don't want to miss this world-class matchup. Be a part of the world's leading pro volleyball fan base. Secure your tickets now at supernovas.com.
Standing strong and taking action. We won't give you the satisfaction. So take a step back and watch us burn it up. 'Cause we bring the fire. Touch you like night owls. We bring the fire. So don't even try us. Yeah, we bring the fire.
Some days are long, some nights never end. I'm hard, the fleeting seconds glide. I pray to the coming wind. And time like snow never stood around for me. I love every sky
Las Vegas, the 2025 Pro Volleyball Federation Championship is headed for the bright lights. Catch the top 4 teams battle it out in the PVF semifinals Friday, May 9th, and the final 2 meet in the championship Sunday, May 11th. It's the match for $1 million in Las Vegas. Tickets on sale soon.
Kayla Caffey with the block to seal the win in set number 3 for the Supernovas. She has 5 blocks now, 4 kills. 5 blocks tying a season high. In matches in which a player has had at least 10 swings, Caffey is the first player in PVF history to hit over 400 in 6 consecutive matches. He's hitting right around 330 right now, so we'll need a good 4th set to keep that streak alive.
Keep setting her. She's,
right.
I mean, Pedraza tends to feed the middle more. She really has confidence in her middles. You see her getting Caitlin and Kayla both involved a lot more in transition and on that first ball. And, you know, Kayla is a physical middle. Like she jumps really well. She can hit at very sharp angles, and that's so important to have. And she has the ability to continue to take over matches and to hit. It's no surprise she's hitting at that high of efficiency if she gets that many sets, because she's just a great physical middle who has the gifts to do that.
Third set, Supernovas out hit the Valkyries 216 to 182 in set 3. And we're underway now in the 4th.
It's just a nice, easy play there that Kelsey Payne was able to, not a full approach, but a smart shot. Just a little, took something off, hit low to the tape, in the middle of the court.
Caitlin Horde now to serve. Shaftmaster. Swing by Sis, not down. None of Hiller. Boy, good swing by Nunaviller, just inside the line.
There wasn't a lot of room to get that through between the antenna and the block. She somehow found a way to get there. You see, keeps the ball in front of her, just really cuts it, takes a little off, cuts it down the line.
Back row, Abercrombie knocked down. That's left for Nunaviller again, and Nunaviller puts it right in front of Scully for another kill. 13 kills for Nunaviller.
After that being set, pass was off the net there. She's really does a great job at getting on top of the ball and snapping it down. A lot of times when the attack is or passes off, sets off, you tend to hit a deeper, flatter ball, and that she was able to get on top of it and snap it down.
Wasn't really recruited as an outside hitter out of high school. Like we mentioned earlier, she went to Oregon originally as a libero, but was just so dynamic in the gym. Kind of moved her into that position, and obviously she's just become one of the great all-around players in the league. That's Nunaviller. There's numbers for Kelsey Payne. Tipped by Kaz Brown. I think that was down. No challenge. Brown with the swing again. Nunaviller swipes it right into the block of Shaftmaster, and the Valkyries get the point either way.
Let's see here. Ford was able to get this.
That was it.
They end up getting.
They got the point. That ends the 3-0 run. When you give her another chance, it's almost like there's a personal vendetta.
Yeah, if you're going to repeat to Brooke, usually repeating after a block or a miss is
It's a great time.
Yeah, great time to get a kill.
Yeah. Oh, how about that by Shaftmaster? Just redirected. Overpass was headed that way, just tipped it behind her.
That's how dangerous she is up there. We talk about how she's an attacker at all times, and the ball was pushed in the middle of the court. A lot of times you think as the setter's moving forward, she's run out of room to dump it, and that time she just took it right behind her head.
Can you consider that a pineapple or not?
No, pineapple's deep in the corner.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
See? All right. We just don't see a lot of them, so.
Yeah.
You know.
I know Melanie Shaftmaster has it.
Yes, we've
seen it.
We've seen it
one too many times.
That's right. Tip and down. Nunaviller again.
Brooke really sells it. She approaches so hard. She comes flying in. Looks like she's going to hit it as hard as she can. And there's just a little finesse tip right over the block.
Good up by Payne. Kept it alive. Run the middle this time. Good swing. A nice kill by Foster.
Serving number 22, Noah Sis.
Sis now back to serve. Point. Sent it off the block.
Like Schwann was a little hesitant whether to jump and block, if it was coming over, not coming over, and Pedrazi just redirects it right off the block.
Kathy now back to serve. She has 2 aces already in the match. Big Horst. Not a block touch. Horst again. Sis sends it back over. And Pedraza with a nice dump.
Pedraza not trying to be outdone here by Shaftmaster. Same thing, just a sharp behind, because that block moves in, it really opens up that zone 4 at the net. As a left back defender, it's really tough for them to get that.
Kelsey Payne off the block. Payne with 11 kills.
Orlando's block is really having a tough time right now. The Supernovas have been able to tool it, push off of it, get some bad touches, just block their block is struggling getting set up to help their defense.
Go to Abercrombie again, that time off the block and out. Abercrombie with the kill as she nears 20 in the match. 17. Foster's jump serve. Handled. Big push right back to her. And a kill again by Allie Batenhorst.
Allie, dare we call recycle that first ball. She hit it into the block to allow her teammates to cover, to get set up. Nice transition play. She didn't have a full approach, but she was able to do a big step close to make a big swing.
Pedroza now will serve. Abercrombie into the block. Horde, Batenhorst, both right there.
See, Horde,
yep.
Yeah. Great setup by Allie. Horde just dropping her right hand to take away that sharp angle.
14 blocks by the Supernovas in the match. They have the lead. 11-5 here in set number 4. And on top, 2-1 in the match. Timeout taken by the Valkyries. Well, Nebraska Public Media has been covering high school championships for decades. And now you get a chance to see some of the best games again on Nebraska High School Classics. Each game features condensed game replay and a new retrospective and some interviews post-championship matchup that will feature on Nebraska High School Classics. You can find them on nebraskapublicmedia.org or on the Nebraska Public Media YouTube channel.
But there's some good classics to pull up. See how far back they go, Larry.
Way back. Way back.
All right.
A whole set of them coming up again this summer, a new batch coming out. Really the first season kind of took a cross-section of geography around the state, cross-section of different sports. We've got some good ones coming and to get to. But we'll take a look way back. Abercrombie with the tip. Horde tries to tip it deep. Sis trying to keep it alive. Shaftmaster couldn't get to it.
Smart play by Caitlin. The net is really pushing it deep here. She's over the blockers high. She's not trying to push down or hit it in. She's just going high and over as everyone's pulled up to try to cover.
12-5. And Abercrombie swings wide. There was no touch, and another point for the Supernovas. Now 13-5. Omaha in control.
Orlando looks like a completely different team from that first set. I mean, the first set was like they could do nothing wrong. Their serving was on, passing, they're in rhythm offensively. And now they're struggling to really get in an offensive rhythm or defensively.
5-0 run right now for Omaha, 14-5. Coach Pettit always used to say that was the toughest serve to handle. Right along the sideline, near sideline, hands outside, didn't know whether to let it go or not. So difficult to handle.
Especially as that middle's coming in front of that that passer there into that seam.
Opportunity here for the Valkyries. Back to Abercrombie. Block touch doing a really nice job on Abercrombie right now. There's Kaz Brown. Put it right in the lap of Horde.
She's got her one hand over, I think, for that block. Turned at the right time and put a hand over. See that 6-2 coming back in for Orlando.
So Grote into the front row. Champu into the back row, and she will serve and set out of the back. Just long.
Serve is long. Point Supernovas.
Good talk by the passers there in the back rows, communicating all the way to the end line.
Supernovas trying to win their 7th match of 8. Along with the Vibe, they've been the hottest team in the PVF. Adavilla with the slip, regathers, tips it over. Lydia Grote with the swing, and Grote has been impressive off the bench.
Grote can hit it almost like a left-hand attacker sharp angle that she picks it there. She's a right-hand attacker, but she really can cut that ball sharp to the right backside. Gets her feet there, keeps it high.
They went to the 6-2 midway through the 3rd. Grote with 4 kills and only running through the front. Been efficient. Grote again.
That time even sharper. That sets off the net and wide, and she, great placement keeping it in. You see she really turns and rotates her body to face that sharp angle.
Baithorst, no touch. Point for Orlando. Good little run here for the Valkyries. 3-0 run. 15-9. Payne winds up and fires. Good block touch. Grote again with the tip. Sent back by Horde. Payne, swing is wide. 4-0 run, Orlando.
Orlando, Sis, and Brown are doing a nice job there on the right side block. They've got a lot of good touches, slowing it down, allowing the defense to make a play on the ball and come back with the swing from the right side.
Overpass put down by Sis. And it is a 5-0 run now on Schwann's serve.
Just drops that serve short in there in front of Allie. There's a lot of congestion going on there with Horde and Payne over there on that side.
Off the block, into the antenna. Point for the Supernovas. 16-11, Omaha with the lead here in set number 4. Try to close it out at home. Well, there's a clear difference between the top 4 and the bottom 4 right now. The top 4 obviously make it into the championship in Vegas. That'll be in Henderson, Nevada. Right now, Supernovas leading the lead. Valkyries hanging on. They 12-8, but they've lost 4 of their last 5 and trying not to make it 5 of 6. It's not difficult to go on a run. Look at the vibe. They had lost 6 of 8. I'm sorry, Atlanta had lost 6 of 8, and now they're on an 8-match winning streak.
Yeah. It's a long season, and everyone's fighting to be good at the end. You got to put yourself in position to have an opportunity there at the end, but then you want to be playing your best volleyball, and you see some of these personnel changes and how some of these teams are relying on players that haven't had a lot of playing time early in the season to try to help them find this new rhythm or to get them through this phase.
Championship setup really cool this year at timeout on the floor, as the Valkyries will take the timeout. 18-11, Omaha with the lead. The way it's set up in Henderson is the top 4 will go. They'll play a semifinal, just like they did here in Omaha last year. 2 semifinals, the championship. The winner of the championship this year gets $1 million to be split between all of the players. So it's not too late for you to try to get on a roster if you want.
Okay, thanks.
That's all you got to do.
A couple weeks. It's all I got to do is make the roster at the end.
Get on a roster.
A roster of the top 4, not just any roster.
That's good. That's
important.
Yep.
Which would probably be really tough. But hey,
you got a 14-person roster. That's about $73,000 a person. That's not bad.
Yeah, not a bad payday.
No.
On top of what you already made. So for a 5-month season.
Yep. Hey, good time for you to connect us on Facebook and social media. Log on and like Nebraska Public Media Sports on Facebook and at Big Red Wrap Up on X. They were the champs last year, and they lead it in 2025. Trying to close it out against Orlando on top 18-11. Caitlin Horde to serve. Ampu outside. Nunaviller. Right back to her, off the block. Push behind. Grote off the top of the block. Good run in the middle. Ampu keeps it alive. Good block touches in this rally by both teams. And then finally, Caffey closes it out. 4th 4-0 run here for Omaha.
Caffey working hard there. She's going pen to pen, blocking, and then still in transition, getting up back in the middle of the court, finding her setter, getting to her, and getting up.
5 kills for Caffey in the match. Grote. Payne off the top of the block. Sis with the swing. And here's Nunaviller. Nunaviller got the kill. And Omaha the first to 20.
Seen some good rallies on both sides of the net. Both teams making some big digs. Block still working hard to get over there. And then you see, of course, Brooke able to finish there. She comes in and just able to tool the block. Hits low at the elbows of the block. The block goes high and over. She's able to attack at the elbow right at the tape.
Valkyries out of timeouts. Good swipe there by Kaz Brown. And Brown ends the run of Omaha. And now back to serve. Payne. Schwann ate it up. Right back to Payne again. Bump set. Good job by Witten on the cover, but sent right back over by the Valkyries. Foster.
Schwann in the back row for the Valkyries in middle back dug a lot of balls tonight. I feel like a lot of those attacks from the right side, and she's just getting herself in position to get the ball up.
You might have seen in the game for the Supernovas is Allison Witten. Witten, 5'7" libero, played at Morehead State before transferring to Creighton. Finished her college career with the Blue Jays. And Sis goes down the line.
Yeah, open net there, a little miscommunication there on the block.
Orlando substitution into the match. Number 6, Abercrombie. Number 16, Shaftmaster.
Abercrombie back in. Shaftmaster in the back row. Shaftmaster will serve. Payne. Great set, and Payne able to unload.
Payne, Pedraza set Payne a lot in this game. They really have been attacking that side of the court against the Valkyries, and the block, forcing it whether she's back row or front row.
3 points away from the match, into the game for the Supernovas. Hometown kid, Lindsay Krause. We've seen Krause in a lot this year as a substitute in the serving for the Supernovas. Getting an opportunity here to run in the front row late in the fourth set. And there is Lindsay Krause. And serving is her best friend, Nora Sis. Outside to Krause. Off the block. Sis says not going to do it. Swing was wide. Don't believe there was a touch. And the Supernovas with the point.
It's close in the corner there, but incredible up there by Sis to keep that play alive for the Valkyries.
Caffey serve. Abercrombie. Krause got the kill. First kill for Krause.
Lindsay swinging high into the hands of the block, right in the seam of the block. Nice job hitting high, not pulling it down.
On their feet in Omaha. Match point for the Supernovas. And Caffey closes it out with the ace. Her 16th of the year, and the Supernovas streak continues. They have now won 7 of their last 8 and are atop the PBF standings. After set number 1, terrific performance by the Supernovas. They survived late in set 3 to get that set win after giving up 4 set points, won it on the 5th set point, 25-23, and then really dominated in set 2 and set 4.
Yeah, Supernovas were struggling there in that first set. They made the substitute, taking Valentina Anderson out, bringing in Pedraza. Not that it was anything that Nadia was doing wrong. You just sometimes that change just changes the rhythm and the tempo and just gives the team a new look. And you kind of felt like from the end of that first is when they started finally getting momentum and really took it there for the rest of the match. And thought Pedraza set a good match for them and for the Supernovas. And Allie came in to provide a spark. Allie Batenhorst came in to provide a spark. So really a team win. They relied on a lot of people to come in tonight and fill their roles.
On the pick out night, the Supernovas with the win. And they move to 15-5 in the league. As we said, have now won 7 of their last 8, and now 11 of 13. 11-2 in their last 13. And now a game up in the win column, 3 games up in the loss column. Joined by Laura Bird-Kuhn. Well, we chatted with you after set 2. 3 you survived late, right, giving up 4 set points, but it looked like it was a much cleaner set 4.
Yeah, we were streaky still. I mean, we need to execute. We took care of the ball way better, but I think there were just some decisions and just execution when we gave up some points. But I'm proud of how we finished. I mean, the response after that first set to take the momentum back and control the actual tempo of the game, I'm proud of our team, and we obviously changed some pieces, but that's how we train, and we find people, and they respond. That's how we train every day, so I'm proud of them.
I thought your middles made an impact offensively tonight. We knew they were great defensive middles. They both are very good blocking middles, but I thought, Mac really felt confident getting them the ball. And how would you say that, is that just Mac's tendency, or was that talked about, getting, the middles becoming more of a factor?
We've been talking about that for the last couple of weeks, and we do a lot of drills where it's middles +2, and we want to get them going because we have to be attacking the middle of the net. And so we use our back row attack a lot, but these two have been working, all 4 of our middles have worked their butts off at practice. So it's been a high focus for us, so I'm glad that they are seeing those benefits.
You've now won 11 of your last 13. You've talked about how well things are going in practice. In terms of where you are in the season and how you're playing based on where you want to be, kind of where are you at right now?
This team grinds and they love it. They embrace it, but we need to be clean. I mean, we can't have streaks like that in the 3rd and 4th sets and let people back in because they're good teams. Orlando's a good team, and if we let people find a rhythm, that's going to hurt us in the long run. So we just need to stay clean and execute at a high level.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Supernovas moved to 15-5 on the year, still on top of the league. Getting ready to chat with Kayla Caffey, who had another terrific night, both from the service line as well as. Hey, tell me about your serve. How has that changed? What have you done differently? Why is that all of a sudden a spark for you?
Yeah, every day in practice, we are putting out chairs, towels, all kinds of targets, and I'm just really trusting it now and going for it. And I think I feel more confident because it's something that we train crazy in practice every single day. A threat from the service line is so important for our team.
Yeah, Kayla, you had a nice match defensively, but offensively tonight, you really got, especially in transition, I was impressed at how well you got up in transition in some of those long rallies. And is that something you feel like has been a focus of yours here towards this end of the season as a way to kind of allow your team to separate and have an impact?
Yeah, definitely. I think an attack out of the middle of the court is huge for us. It just is keeping the court very balanced, and Mac does a really good job of distributing. We also played together last year, so we already kind of have that connection, so that helps.
Hey, what was the conversation like in the huddle after set 1?
After set 1, we were like, this isn't us, guys. We need to watch this set. And Brooke's like, no, guys, we need to get mad. You can't forget about that. We need to go right now. And so after that, we were like, let's fucking go. Can I say that on screen? I don't know.
You just did.
Hey.
We appreciate you joining us. Thanks very much, Kayla.
Thanks, bye.
Yeah, you betcha. I guess we asked. Supernovas, they're the winners. They win it tonight in 4, 3-1 in the 4th. It's 25-15. They move to 15-5. Thanks for joining us.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be aware.
Tonight from Omaha. Along with Lindsey Peterson, I'm Larry Putney. Hey, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time back here in Omaha.